from Death Ray Designs. Long time ago, I knew him as Brush for Hire.
Yep.
But he's been Death Ray Designs for a number of years now. He's a good friend. I've known him for many years. In fact, for those of us who are Vault members of many years ago, then you will remember Austin as he is one of the architects of the Pillars of the Vault because he supplied many, many tutorials in the Vault when we first started the Vault. So welcome, Austin, to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Dave. I'm doing great. Hope you're doing well out there.
I am doing very well. I wanted to have you on. There's a couple exciting things that are happening right now. First and foremost, if you guys are just joining us, we are doing a few giveaways. You guys may have seen Austin's giveaway on Instagram, and that's for his Necropolis, his Necron terrain set. It's not called Necron terrain set, but that's what I'm calling it. That's not what he's calling it. He's calling it a Necropolis terrain set. And I would use it in my Necron army, or we would use it in our Necron army. And you can use it for whatever you want to use it for. And
That's
so,
totally fair.
now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to provide a link to this so you guys see exactly what I'm talking about. So here, just give me one moment. Yeah, I'll do this. And that's something that you'll want to participate in. It's very easy. Just go to the link that I'm about to send you. And here, here we go. Copy link, perfect. I'm going to post it here in the chat. That should bring you there. If it doesn't bring you there, let me know, and then I can maybe repost a different link. But I believe that's the post. Here, in fact, I will give you a block of links here, just so it's like unquestionable what it is. So what you'll need to do is follow Austin on Death Ray Designs and tag a friend in order to be entered. We're going to be drawing a winner at the very end. It's for this big Necropolis terrain set. It is laser cut, right, Austin?
It is.
Laser cut terrain. And for those of you who don't know, Austin is an engineer by trade. And so the stuff that he makes is built by an engineer, literally. So it's very precise and mathematical, and things fit perfectly, and it speaks to my language of OCD, so I appreciate that, Austin. And I like the stuff that I've always liked the stuff that you've made, and so
Thank you.
For those of you who have seen his stuff, I'm sure you know exactly what I meant. And for someone just thought that you were Robin Williams.
Oh. What year is it?
And so this is how the giveaway works. If you guys are curious, basically we're going to randomly select one. It's going to be an Instagram. That one will be specifically on Instagram. So we will, we're going to choose that today on the Shrine. Now, to add to that, because people who aren't on Instagram are watching this right now, we're going to add some things here. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, or Periscope rather, or Twitch, then you'll have a chance to win some of these guys. So we have Canoptech Doomstacker.
Ooh.
That's something that you can win. And also the Silent King to go with the Necron theme that is today. These will also be given away at some point today.
Awesome.
And I'll post that one more time in the link. That's to Instagram. If you don't want to participate in that, that's totally fine. I know some people don't want to go on Instagram, and completely your choice. But if you are on Instagram and you want to participate in that, that's what we're doing. And we're going to be drawing that at the end. That'll be an Instagram winner. These other ones will be for the viewers on the other platforms. Now, enough of all that. Enough of all the bookkeeping stuff. Let's talk about some fun stuff, Austin.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, for those who don't know you, so what got you in the hobby? Like, what got you started? How old were you? What was your first things that you liked about the hobby? What got you into it?
Oh man. So my sort of hobby life began fairly early. And I guess the sort of inciting incident was going with my dad when I was really young over to one of his friends' houses, and he had a massive model train layout. Like, it was like a whole building in his backyard that was dedicated to this. And I just thought it was incredibly fascinating. I wanted to touch everything, but they held me back. I couldn't touch a thing. And so I was instantly transfixed on miniatures and tiny things and wanted to do it myself. Um, for anyone who's ever tried to do model railroad stuff, much like wargaming, it's incredibly expensive and time consuming and not something that you just let a small child do, especially when you don't have a lot of money. As I got older, I think I was, I don't know, sometime in elementary school, I discovered on a trip to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or wherever it was that we were going that they sold kits for doll houses. And I said, that looks close enough, and I can save up some money and buy one of the kits to build a dollhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the thing together. It was neat, but then there's a ton of other stuff to do to make it look like an actual house. Like you got wallpapering, you can install outlets, you can put in fancy windows and do finishing on things, add real shingles, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So bit by bit, I did that. And then at the end, I was like, cool, I made this thing. I don't know what to do with it. So I ended up finding someone to buy it from me. My parents had some friends who had some kids that would enjoy it. And so sold it to them, turned around, bought another kit, started again. This went on for a couple of years. And it was at that point that I think technically I was introduced to Warhammer 40K before D&D, but at the time, Warhammer 40K was such a daunting task. Like, I was still a kid. I was still like, 11 or 12. There's no way I was going to be able to scrounge together enough, allowance money or cut in the yard dollars to actually put together an army. But one of my friends introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons, and I went from being interested to playing a bunch to running games by the time I was 13 or 14. And I spent a lot of time developing campaigns and then building scenic terrain for them. Mm-hmm. And so I did a lot of model painting, a lot of scenery building, a lot of just world building on the miniature scale from about 14 to 18. And it kind of died off right as I went into college for about a year or two. I was just having to focus on studies. And then as I was getting into my third and fourth year, which I went to school for film and video production, and specifically like set building, lighting design, that kind of stuff. It was about that time that I was like, oh, we could actually use scale models to do some of the compositing for these, and started working on it again. And that's when I fell into the 40K hole for like several years. Just like nothing but 40K stuff was like all of my hobby ever.
Right.
And then I started widening my horizons and doing some, War Machine and Infinity and all kinds of other games, and started to go to shows. And then at some point, one of my friends asked, what if we had a laser cutter? Could we make some tokens or something? And
now, when was this? When was this?
Okay, so that piece of it was in, was that? I think it was 2012. So it was about that point. Now I glossed over a big chunk of stuff there too, because like before that, we had this whole era of doing commission painting, and leading into that was doing tutorials, because I wanted to use my degree to make videos. And then shortly after I kind of got that churning, I saw the call for help essentially for vault content, and came and worked for you guys for a little while. Mm-hmm. And I think it was you that convinced me at some point. You were like, do you want to do commission painting? Should we try to, put the word out that you're trying to take commissions? And so we ended up doing that and built a little bit of a community around that. And that lasted for a little while. And I think we just sort of took a left turn and I went right back into scenery, which was the thing that kind of started everything for me.
Yeah.
So I took all of my set design, all of my graphic design, all of my, you know, mathematics OCD stuff, and just jammed it together into what is now Death Ray Designs.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And here we are. And I must say, I knew you many years ago when you had no facial hair. And then it started with this twirly mustache.
Uh-huh.
That stayed for a number of years. And then the beard or goatee and then beard.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I have to say, this is probably the biggest I've seen your beard. And it's mildly distracting. I am semi-jealous because I could never do such a thing. I don't grow on the sides. But it's
I grow almost up to the underside of my eyeballs, man. Like
it's wondrous. It's a wondrous thing. And I looking at the comments here, I'm looking at people who are like, hey, there's Robin Williams. Hey, there's Ewan McGregor. Hey. And so no, it's great. Hey, if you could do it, why not, right?
Sure.
So very cool. So you make okay, so I have to ask, where do you find your Okay, so before I ask you that, hold on, I got to backtrack a step here. So what armies do you play in 40K specifically?
40K. I tell you, I haven't been able to land on an army that's stuck for a while. Like I keep like almost every terrain project that we do, I end up building a small army to complement it because I want to, you know, make sure it works well, and also for photography. And then GW's release schedule has been insanity for like several years now, but I do really like Gene Stealer Cult. I think that's probably my favorite, and I think probably the one that I have the most of. Now, I also haven't really been able to get a game in since you know, the world sort of turned upside down, but it is still probably my favorite aesthetic and favorite sort of guard but not guard sort of flavor and mechanics to it. I did play guard most of the way through college and just had an unconscionable number of tanks at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had something like 15 Lehman Russes, and I think that started right about the time the first like big Apocalypse release happened in like, what was that, 2009, 2008, 2009, somewhere in there.
When it became big, when it was like
yeah. They started releasing those giant like formation boxes. In fact, I don't know if anybody can see it. I don't even think it's technically on the camera as it is cropped now. Let me see if I can do this without hurting everybody's brain. So this box right here, that one is the like 10 Lehman Russ box that they put out for Apocalypse that year. And I've kept the box around because I thought it was real cool.
Okay, so the reason why I'm asking is because when you first started laser cutting terrain and selling it essentially, right? Like you started Death Ray Design business. What were the first things that inspired you? What were the first terrain pieces that kind of got stuck in your brain? You're like, yes, I want to make this. I want to do that. Or was it like more so objective markers and tokens and gaming aids? What was it that got you started there?
So my business partner, Adam, he initially pitched the idea to me as a, you know, I've got some money to buy a laser cutter. Would you want to essentially make an arm of Brush for Hire at the time that is dedicated to making game aids and widgets and objective markers and things like that? And I was like, yeah, I think that would be really fun. I think that there's a lot of synergy there to be had, you know, with, you know, if we're doing commission painting, then people might also be willing to come to us for actual physical products that we produce. We can have add-ons for commissions and things. Well, that didn't honestly pan out too well. We just ended up shifting focus entirely. And we didn't really do a lot of tokens because as soon as we figured out that we could make terrain, and that it wasn't so incredibly difficult a task that it, we were just like, well, that's the obvious choice. I like terrain. I like making terrain. I like to think that I make some pretty cool looking terrain. Let's make terrain so that people can have this cool terrain. And we kind of skipped over the tokens and things for a good long time. But the things that really inspired me in the beginning were, honestly, a lot of the old art from Warhammer 40K, a lot of the things that I had previously built out of foam board. I was like, oh, I could take this design that I made a one-off of, and now we could mass produce a version that people could put together for themselves at home.
Right.
And it'll just be easier, and they could have a bunch of them really quickly. And I think that would be good. And it's not like we invented laser cut terrain or anything. There were plenty of people out there ahead of us, but when we entered the marketplace, there weren't that many. There were a few big ones, but we also jumped in at a time where I think that there was still a lot of fear about that material not being good enough or high quality enough, or that you couldn't design something that looked good out of flat material.
Right.
And frankly, the stuff that was out there for the most part, and even our stuff for a little while when we first got going, was really boxy. Like it was decorated shoe boxes.
Right.
And it took a lot of thinking and planning and engineering to get something that didn't look like a box. And some of that, honestly, and still going on now, is that piece of the industry, that piece of the community sort of feeding off of itself and seeing like, oh, they did that. That's a really cool way to connect things. I could use that and apply it to this other design that I have, and then it'll fit together faster, easier, more precisely. We could save on cut time, which lowers the prices, and everybody likes lower prices. We're all sort of learning together, but at the same time, I think everybody's still trying to like keep their secrets as long as they can until they unveil them and they're like, "Look at this cool thing I made."
So, when you're, from the sounds of it, it's a process. You're learning. Mm-hmm. You learn as you go, and you've learned a lot over the years, and you learn from previous projects, and you kind of take what you tweak certain things and you amalgamate what you've learned. And my guess is that you also gather notes from other things that you look at too, and apply that. So you kind of just mash it all together. So that being said, the latest stuff that you make, it stands to reason that is the best stuff that you're making.
In 90-something% of the cases, I would say yes. Yeah. And it's not that, when we say best, I would say the most refined, the most precisely engineered, but I wouldn't necessarily say the most complex. There are times where we try to dial back complexity for products. We've got one coming out soon that is a sort of companion set to one that we have. It's been a bestseller for years now. As Shattered Landscape Downtown is just a bunch of ruined buildings. It's the classic 40K corner of a ruined building with a few floors in it. And you just get a boatload of terrain for like $100. Like it's basically like a table and a half worth of ruins for $100. And we see that a lot of people who are building out multiple tables or doing events and things, this is something that they gravitate towards because it's fast to put together, it's inexpensive, it's pretty durable, doesn't take much to paint it. And so we wanted to make a companion set to that. So while it's not going to be the most complicated or complex thing that we've ever made, the complexity for us is how do we make the most conservative cuts that we can to produce the best looking terrain at the most reasonable price, so that when we can have these giant events again, or for people who just want stuff at home because they're not going to the game store right now,
Right.
they have an option for something that's really affordable and still looks nice and will be fun to paint. It'll be a nice, fun project. You've got lots of options as far as like where to put paint to make something that looks cool, where you're not just having to like randomly mask off parts. But anyway, I think I answered that in a really roundabout way, but like,
I love it.
Yeah,
Basically, it's a window into your brain a little bit, you know. And,
yeah,
and I think that's why I understand you so much. You have this like, you have this chaos about you, but it's organized chaos, I must say, because you're able to like, you can output this stuff that you're doing, and this is on my desk, so I got to show it off. So,
oh hey, yeah,
okay, so this is the Chain Axe widget that Austin designed. This is available on the Mini Wargaming Shopify store, shop.miniwargaming.com. So Austin made this. He designed it for me, and I sent him a message one night. I'm like, "Hey Austin, can you make a corn inspired chain axe widget?" and of course the answer is yes, right? It's like, what can't you make? I think you can literally make anything. It's like, here, I'm gonna just throw a bunch of words at you, and then you can organize it in such a way where it makes sense. So that's something cool. And I have to say this as well, because this is something that I use a lot and have used over the years. And it's your Dawn of War inspired terrain. What's the exact name of that terrain set?
Rapid Vanguard.
Rapid Vanguard is the name of it.
Yeah.
I think of the video game Dawn of War when I see that stuff. And that's some of my favorite terrain because it looks... I mean, first off, it looks awesome. It looks like it fits in the 40K universe. It looks like it's Space Marine. It just totally fits. And it was painted up in the Blood Angel color scheme, and it looks amazing. You know, it's amazing for scenarios and regular battle reports and narrative campaigns, especially, right? So all of that, you can do so much with it, and you can have multiple pieces of it, and it's super cool. The aesthetic is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I must say, like it's some of the coolest stuff. And if you guys haven't seen it, check it out on Death Ray Designs. It's there. At least, yeah, it's still there, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's still there.
Okay, all right. It's not one of those things.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't really do limited time things for the most part. Like if we take the time to design it, we're just gonna leave it there until we replace it with something else.
Yeah.
Like the current Necropolis set that we're giving one of the sets away from today. There was an old Necropolis set, and we've harvested the pieces that we still like from it, but there were certain things about it that we were like, we could do that so much better now. And, it's not like the old files are gone. So if anybody ever contacted us and said, I've got 4 of these, I want a 5th, but they're not available anymore, we still got the files. We're just not going to advertise them on the site anymore. But we'll probably have some sort of rolling thing like that as we go forward. Even Rapid Vanguard could get a facelift at some point, could get, resin accessories, could get all manner of other fun stuff. I'm definitely not hinting at something very specific right now. But yeah.
What could you be talking about?
No, there's some stuff that we want to do with that set, to bring it up to date and in line with some other things. One of the pieces that we've really pushed hard on for the last couple of years has been modular terrain, stuff that hooks together. You can reconfigure, you can change the faces on the buildings. And I think that Rapid Vanguard is one of those where the buildings are kind of segmented in a way that you could potentially break them up into discrete units and then have them hooked together in different configurations and make whatever you want. Have some base buildings and then have some of the pieces like the little lobes that stick off of the side of the HQ building that make the transept, essentially. Those could come off and stick onto something else, or you could have a barracks that hooks onto another barracks and makes like a super, foot-long barracks. There's all kinds of possibilities there, and we're investigating a lot of those.
Investigate away because it
Yeah.
helps the world.
Yeah, man.
We're going to switch gears a little bit right now, Austin. We're going to do a chaos comment bomb.
Cool.
So for those of us who are not sure what this is, it's a tradition in the Shrine of Chaos where we do a chaos comment bomb. I'm going to provide you guys with a link in the chat. So what you do is you click on that link. It brings you to a YouTube video, and you leave a comment. And the comment could be something like, Dave and Austin say hi from the Shrine of Chaos. Or you could say, continue to use tooth and coats, Duncan, because that's what is good in life. I'm going to just post that link there. Okay, so this is for Duncan's video.
Nice.
This is tradition. We do this before the giveaways just because it's fun to see where it goes. And I got a hold of Duncan too. He's going to be on the show at some point in the future. He's a little slippery though. It's hard to get a hold of him. Yeah, he's a busy guy, but I figured it makes sense to kind of chaos comment bomb him and to nudge him a little bit. There's another artist in the community. Also for fun, I like to see. He started with 142 comments. Let's see how many he got here from the chaos comment bomb. Yeah, and so this is where when you participate in the chaos comment bomb, the goal is to explode Duncan's phone. So we want the notifications to go to his phone and just like for him to open it up and be like, oh, what's this? Oh, and it just explodes. That's the goal. Because it was Adam last week, Tabletop Minions. I had him on last week, and he told me that he was actually the first one. He was the one that originated the phone on the back of the toilet and it buzzing and it like falling off the toilet while he was in the shower. Because he was being chaos comment bombed.
No.
So that's the goal every time now. He set the precedent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really what needs to happen every
We're trying to vibrate Duncan's phone right out of his pocket.
Yeah. That's right. We want to make it so when he's painting the mini that he makes a mistake. We just want to we want to shake him and make it so he has to put 3 thin coats on it to cover up.
Oh goodness!
All right, so that's that. We're gonna go on to the giveaway now. Let's start with the smaller one.
All right.
Okay, so Austin, if you would, what should the key phrase be for this Doomstalker?
Key phrase.
You gotta.
We gotta feed it a number to generate a random thing.
Yeah, so this is the word that you guys need to type in. Type in this word, and that indicates to us that you want to win this. So if the mouse cursor randomly lands on you, I know that you want to win this.
Oh, boy. Man, you put me on the spot. I don't know. Spooky.
Spooky. Okay. All right. That's the word. Type in spooky, and that will indicate to us that you want to win this. So this is how it works.
It's also October, you know.
If you're not sure how this works, it's really simple. It's just I'm going to scroll with my mouse wheel, and wherever the cursor lands, that's who the winner is. You don't have to write a special essay. You don't have to enter in any other way other than just leaving a comment right now. If there was some sort of way where it could be randomly generated from the 4 platforms of comments that are being combined right now, then please, by all means, let me know. This is kind of a crude way of doing it, but it works. So as long as it works.
Is properly chaotic.
Properly chaotic. That's right. And you know what they say about chaos? It's definitely fair. So. Okay.
You play long enough, sure. It all evens out in the end.
Excuse me.
Woo.
I apologize if you're wearing headphones. That was probably not pleasant. This is we enter into the ASMR portion of the Shrine of Chaos. We're about to do the giveaway now. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Randomly landing on Lee. Oh, hold on. Sorry. I apologize, guys. My thing froze. Okay.
Refresh, refresh, refresh.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Lincoln Maddow. That's a YouTube viewer. Lincoln Maddow. Maddo. So this is how you claim your prize, Lincoln. Email support@miniwargaming.com. When you do that, when you email support@miniwargaming.com, you need to let us know what you won. You won the Doomstalker, and you also need to provide your shipping address. Should you do those things, then the chances of it being sent through the warp and landing on your doorstep will increase. Lincoln Maddow. All right, Doomstalker. Just gonna make a little note here, and that's on YouTube. Okay, second prize is the Silent King.
So very fancy.
All right, guys. So this is it. Austin, what should the keyword be?
Oh, again, I should have thought ahead. Why didn't I not think ahead of another word, Dave?
It could be simple. It could be like, I don't know, silent.
Oh,
or I know it sounds boring, but
how about regal?
Regal.
There we go.
All right, that's a good word. Now, how does one spell regal?
Regal. I'm terrible at spelling, man.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's like I was very sure until you asked me, and then I was like, what? What are letters?
It's like, no, don't ask me that. I've
just know it and do it. Don't ask me questions.
Well, if you spell it wrong, then I know where your heart's at, where it's at. So it's all good. Okay, so that's for the Silent King. Oh yeah, by the way, if you just jumped onto the shrine right now, we're literally right in the middle of a giveaway. All you got to do is type in the word regal, which is apparently spelled Regal, and that will indicate to us that you want this model. Should my mouse cursor land on your name as it pops up in OBS, because that's where all the chat is consolidated, just so you guys know. And I think that's enough time, because there's internet lag. We waited a good 20 to 30 seconds. If you're longer than that, then you're probably in an area of the world where it's going to take 6 months for the model to get to you.
Yep.
And if that's the case, then hats off to you, man. Like, yeah, you're probably in like Antarctica or something. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. True Sensei. That's a Twitch user. You know what? I got Twitch open up. I'm going to send you a whisper. True Sensei. Hi. I've just sent you a whisper on Twitch. This is easy. So just message me back on Twitch and let me know what you won, which is the Silent King. You're the Silent King winner. True Sensei. Congratulations. Respond back on Twitch and give me your shipping address. Then this can be mailed out to you. Okay. Now for this one. This is the last one. This is going to be on Instagram.
All right.
So let's open this up. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So if you're watching this and you happen to be on Instagram at the time. Oh, by the way, is there anywhere you won't ship?
Right now, for the giveaway, at least, we want to keep this to U.S. and Canada. Sorry, everybody internationally. I know you probably. Actually, you know what? No, whatever. Everywhere. Do it everywhere.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right.
We're only shipping one thing. It's one big thing. We can ship it wherever.
All right. Cool. That to me sounded like an on-the-spot decision. So
It was. I was thinking, like, initially we were talking about doing a whole bunch of like little things, and then at that point we're going to say only U.S. and Canada. But no, it's just one big thing. Yeah, it'll cost some money to get it wherever, but it won't be that bad. It's only one thing.
is what it is.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so here, check this out. I am scrolling. I'm going to do it on my phone, okay? So I have them all up right now. And I can't see what I'm doing. So it's going to go boop right there. That is Ortnit. Congratulations, Ortnit. Ortnit. Here, why don't I just reply to you right now and say congrats, you're the winner.
Ta-da!
And then I'll send them a message.
Okay.
And then I'll gather their info and I'll send it off to you, Austin.
That sounds good.
So thank you for hosting that giveaway. That is incredibly awesome. This Necropolis terrain set.
Yeah, man.
And here, just to remind you guys, that's what it is here. Let's actually show you it, not my ugly face here. Here, so that's what it is. You get it like that. It's MDF. It's laser cut. And there's a lot of pictures on Austin's Facebook page. Oh, by the way, how do people find you, Austin?
Number one easiest place to find the stuff that we're doing and what's new is on our site, deathraydesigns.com. You can also follow us on Instagram or on Facebook. Just search for Death Ray Designs. And those are the places that we put new stuff. On the website, you could also sign up for our newsletter and get special deals and advance notice about sales and all kinds of fun stuff. We promise we won't spam you. I wish we had the bandwidth to put more newsletters together. We just don't. So don't worry, you'll get like 5 emails a year. So, but yeah, come check out the site. There's all kinds of game accessories and terrain and other fun stuff for just about every tabletop game you want to play. Yeah.
Oh,
see some cool pictures over on Instagram.
So it looks like Ortnit is responding to me right now.
Ooh,
because I sent Ortnit the message. I think I'm saying the name right. It's a username. I can say it however I like. What was I going to say? I was going to say one last thing to you. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just might be gone. It might be lost in the warp forever. I don't know if we're going to get it back. It was a question, too. It was an important question. I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Man. And I didn't even go through a doorway. I can't even use that excuse. You ever do that where you go through a doorway?
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, it's lost. And you go like from one end of the house to the other. There's like 5 doorways. Okay, it's completely washed away from my brain. There's no way.
Oh, yeah.
There's no
That's
way.
like going through the mental version of a car wash. You've been hit by so many scrubby rollers through all those doorways. There's no way you're remembering it by the time you get to the other side of the house.
No, there's no way. Oh, okay. I actually remember, ironically.
All right.
Okay, so Death Ray Designs happens to be one of the companies. This is a message to you all. This is a public service announcement. Death Ray Designs happens to be one of the companies that offers a discount to Silver Vault members. So if you're a Silver Vault member and you did not know this, then check out the discount code page, and you'll see them there. And they'll have a specific discount code that you can enter when you buy stuff from Austin. Also, if you're not a Silver Vault member, then consider becoming one so that you can get a discount off of Death Ray Design stuff. So, I love how it all works together so well. Like that's feels like a sandwich of terrain goodness. And Epic Beard, thank you very much. Oh, it's a good thing you said yes on the worldwide because it's going to be Germany that's going to.
Cool. Right on.
Yeah. So very cool. He just responded back with a surprised, shocked face.
All right. Well,
awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
So thanks so much for joining us today in the Shrine of Chaos, and thank you, Austin, for joining us. You're a friend. You're always welcome in the Shrine because you don't collect Tau or play Tau. Also because you're a good person with a big beard, that certainly helps.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, without that's like that's the little bit extra. That's the mortal wound when you charge, in addition to your devastating charge. So I appreciate it, and thank you guys for joining. Stay tuned next week, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for the Shrine of Chaos, every Wednesday. Happy wargaming, everybody.